Let's talk about a stated account, or what sometimes is called an account stated. And that is a type of claim that really we saw back in say 100 years ago, when a hardware store maybe would allow you to come in and you buy things on credit or on account. And then maybe every 3 months, every 6 months, that hardware store would write you a letter and say, okay, here are all the things you bought, here are all the payments you made, now I'm going to balance all this out, and here's the account, or here's the amount that you owe. And so that amount would be told to you in writing or stated to you. And so the idea is that while you're kind of keeping this balance going, every now and then the creditor will send you a statement of what you owe, listing again everything that you purchased and all the payments that you made. And so that amount is being balanced and then rendered or stated to you. And if you get that letter and you do not object to that letter, then the concept is that you've agreed to that. And so if there's a lawsuit after that, that hardware store or doctor or accountant or whoever it may be does not have to come in and prove every one of those charges. They just prove, hey, I sent you this statement of your account. Again, that's where that name comes from, stated account or account statement or account stated. And then they just have to prove you did not pay it. Now, what the credit card companies, or more specifically the debt buyers, are doing is taking that concept and saying, oh, every time that credit card company sent you a statement, that is a stated account or an account stated. That's really not what, at least in our opinion, what the law is. Because when you have a stated account, that, according to the law, makes a whole new loan or a whole new transaction. And I think the credit card companies would be shocked to learn that every time they send you a statement, they are redoing a loan with you. It has all sorts of implications with truth in lending that I think the credit card companies have no intention of doing. But these debt buyers try to use this law in Alabama because it has a 6-year statute of limitation, whereas some of the other claims do not have quite that long. And so what they normally try and prove is that there was an amount owed, they wrote it out, they mailed that to you, you received that, you did not object to it, so you agreed to it or you consented to it. And that's what they base this on. And sometimes what they'll do is the lawyers will prepare this little sheet of paper and it says across the top, stated claim, stated account, account stated. And it just has the amount owed. And you look at this piece of paper and say, what in the world is this? And the debt buyers say, oh, well, see, right there, I stated the account to you. I gave you the amount that you owe. And we disagree with that, but that's the argument, and that's where this term comes from. And again, you'll see it in different ways. Account stated, stated account, sometimes they call it stated claim. And again, it's this idea that comes from 100 years, 150 years ago, and these debt buyers are trying to use this sort of old-fashioned way of doing business and saying, that's what you and I have done. And again, we disagree with that, but that's what that's all about.